What's up, guys? It's Dust here, and welcome back to Dark Cloud. Last time, we went 400 years into the past, defeated the Dark Genie, and stopped it from ever existing. This time, we have some unfinished business. If you tuned into my live streams, you saw that, as promised, I covered every single bit of progress I made into this secret dungeon at the end of the game, the Demon Shaft. If you haven't, let me go over some things real quick. This, if you don't know, was a 100-floor dungeon. So I live streamed every single one of these floors and am now up to floor 100. I'd like to go over my current weapon setup. For Tone, we have a fully maxed out, well, almost fully maxed out, Chronicle Sword. This is the strongest weapon that Tone can have at this point. And as you can see, we have completely maxed out our base stats, completely maxed out all our attributes, and almost all of these stats are complete. It's just Aqua and Metal, but we're not worried about those. Now, I didn't make much progress on all the other characters, but Ruby now has the Secret Armlet, also her best weapon. For her as well, her base stats are all maxed out, her attributes are all maxed out, and not as many stats are maxed out here, but that's alright. I also want to go over what items I have right now. I have plenty of water, plenty of chickens, plenty of stamina drinks. I bought a bunch of cheeses, you'll see why soon. Definitely a bunch of revival powders, repair powders, and a bunch of auto repair powders for a very specific reason. But without further ado, let's just head right back on into the Demon Shaft. And go to floor 100, the top floor. Sure enough, we have a secret boss. This is Black Knight Pendragon, obviously a reference to Arthur Pendragon. He's going to start off. He's going to start off like this. You pretty much just want to stick decently close to him and use ranged attacks. Hold on. Let me heal up Ruby because she's already almost dead. And also, highly recommend stamina drinks so that you can do a lot more damage. Mainly because he has a whopping 55,000 health. You heard that right. 55,000. That's almost 4 times of... that's almost a full time... Sorry. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. That is almost 4 times the full max health put together that the Dark Genie had. The Dark Genie had 13,500 when you put all his phases together. Anyways. Sorry, I completely messed up saying that, but I'm going to use a cheese again here. That's not what I intended to get the cheeses for, but I needed it. So, basically, you just want to have stamina drinks on and constantly just keep hitting this thing and moving around it with Ruby. This phase, this can definitely take a while. I said phase. I was trying to not reveal or accidentally say that he has multiple phases, but yes, he has multiple phases. So this phase alone has 55,000 health. It's not 55,000 total. No. It's 55,000 for this phase. And this is pretty much all he does for this phase, so as long as you keep a distance and keep getting around him, you should be fine. Just don't get greedy with your shots and get too close to him like you've seen I've been doing. If this ends up taking a little bit longer than intended, I might speed this up a little bit. Or just cut to the next phase, whichever. But I feel like we're doing pretty good. We're making some decent progress. We've been hitting him for 1441 each time. So, hopefully we're making some decent progress on his health. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you really can't afford to let him get close. Also, as you've noticed, maybe, As soon as you hit him while he's doing his charge, he will auto-redirect to be completely on your path. So if you shoot him from the side while you're too close to him, he will instantly turn around and hit you. So that is another thing to watch out for during this phase. Very, very annoying. But if you can pull it off, you can get a couple shots during one charge. As you can see, I've been doing, which has been going pretty well so far. I say that now. We've only used one revival powder, so hopefully we'll be good. Yeah. And also if you don't have these characters powered up as much as I do, try not to waste as many stamina drinks on this phase. Oh, there we go. So, that phase is over. Now he gets off his dragon, and now it is a man-to-man sword fight. Obviously, you want to use Tome. For this phase, basically, if you try and use a ranged attack, he's just going to instantly block it, so don't even try. So basically, you just want to stamina drink, get up close to him. Now that spin attack right there, if you hit him while he is doing that attack, it will completely shred your weapon. It doesn't matter how powered up or doesn't matter how much endurance you have on your weapon. If you hit him while he is doing that spin attack, he will instantly destroy your weapon. This is why you want to have auto repair powders. That way, if you accidentally hit him while he is doing that, you won't break your weapon. And pretty much, if you have as much progress on a weapon like I do, and you end up breaking your weapon, it's not going to end well, because then you're going to have nothing else to fight him with. But as long as you stay stamina up, you stay pretty close to him, and keep getting hits in, he shouldn't be too bad. But definitely a formidable foe. I believe in this phase he has about 45,000. I could be wrong. If I am, I'll put it on screen. There we go. Damn it. Oh, don't be greedy like me and try to get a couple hits in one. Or else he might pull that and you'll get your weapon broken. Do not follow in my footsteps, I beg you. Nope, not quite. Stamina just ran out right before I hit him, too. We're down to 5. We should be getting close. We've been hitting him for a decent amount each time. Revival powder used, that's fine. Just back off. There's another one. And stamina up again. There we go! And in true RPG fashion, our reward for doing all the post-game stuff is the strongest weapon in the game. This is the Chronicle 2. This is Tone's strongest weapon. And not only Tone's strongest weapon, the strongest weapon in the game. Instantly, I'm going to status break my Chronicle sword and put it right on the Chronicle 2. And let me show you. Look at all the base stats for this real quick. We have 199 attack, 110 magic power, 50 in each element, and 50 in each of these stats. Now watch what happens when I put the fully powered up Chronicle on it. Oh, that's instantly maxed, instantly maxed, instantly maxed. Oh, I forgot to equip it. All that, and I forgot to equip it. But yeah. Here is literally the most powerful weapon you can ever have in this game. Obviously, there's more status effects you could take off other weapons and put on this, but This is your reward for completing the Demon Shaft, is the strongest sword in the game. And speaking of strongest weapons in the game, at this point in time, I now want to go over every single character's strongest weapon. So I'll see you guys in a minute. I'm going to exit the dungeon and pull up the list that I have. So now, for each character, they are going to have at least 2 strongest weapons. Obviously, one is going to be stronger than the other, but I'm basically going to be going over every single weapon that will be like at the end of a build-up route, if you know what I mean. So for tone, obviously we have the Chronicle that we had. You have the Chronicle 2 that we just got. And then there's also a third one called the Sword of Zeus, which you get from fully powering up the Sun Sword that we got while we were restoring Musco Raka, I think it was. For Zhao, hers are the Angel Gear, which is the stronger of the two, and Super Steve. You get that from building up Steve, which is the talking slingshot. For Goro, you have the Inferno, which is the stronger one, and the Tall Hammer. For Ruby, obviously you already saw it, the Secret Armlet and the Mobius Ring. For Ungaga, you have the Babel Spear, or it's Babel Spear, I think it is. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize if I'm messing that up. And the Hercules Wrath, the Babel Spear being the stronger of the two. And for Osmond, you have the Supernova and the Starbreaker. Obviously, my original intent was to physically get all these weapons to show you guys, but the amount of time that would take would be more effort than it's worth when I can just show you what all these weapons look like through a quick Google search. You can write it off as me being lazy, but it's also me not wanting to put hours in this game powering up characters that I hate playing as. Anyways, so there's also some other things I wanted to go over, mostly regarding the soundtrack. I know I've already talked about the soundtrack and a whole lot of stuff, and talked about how good it is and all that, but there's one thing I wanted to talk about the soundtrack itself. I've already mentioned that it's on Spotify, but there's some pretty noticeable differences if you listen to it on Spotify and in the game. So, there's a lot of songs, like Wise Owl Forest, for example, that are pitched a bit higher than they are in the game. Most of these aren't really that bad, and I mean, you can still figure out what song they are, and they still sound good. But there's one specifically that changes a lot, and I'll talk about it in a second. But what probably caused this, and I don't know if this is accurate or not because I read this in a Reddit comments section, basically the soundtrack itself was recorded using real instruments, but to input those songs into the game they used MIDI sound samples, which I'm not really sure what those are. I haven't looked into them much, but that could explain the pitch differences. They may have had to pitch some of these songs lower to get them to fit in the game. But there's one song in particular that I feel like you guys should hear for yourself. That is Divine Beast Cave. I swear to God, it sounds like a completely different song on the soundtrack. Like here's Divine Beast Cave in the game. And now, here's Divine Beast Cave on the soundtrack. It definitely still sounds similar, and you can still make out what it's supposed to be, but the first time I heard it, I honestly was listening to it for a few seconds, trying to figure out what song it was, but could not figure it out for the life of me, and finally it clicked that that was supposed to be Divine Beast Cave. It was weird, and I felt like I wanted to share it, because I hadn't listened to the actual soundtrack on Spotify in depth until I started this Let's Play. But for now, that's really everything I wanted to talk about. If you guys want to learn more about this game for yourselves, let me direct you to some of the sources that I went through to get some research for this Let's Play. The first one is obviously the Fandom Dark Cloud Wiki, which I will link in the description, and also a website called the Cutting Room Floor, which basically has a bunch of cut content for a lot of different games, and this happened to be on it, so I'm glad for that, because I never knew some of the beta stuff until I looked it up on there. And without further ado, there's one more thing that I want to do. Since we worked so hard for our Chronicle 2, I say we go give our good friend the Dark Genie another visit, and see how this sword fares up. I will see you guys at the Dark Genie fight. I unfortunately have to rewatch the whole cutscene, so it'll be 5 seconds for you and about 20 minutes for me. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we go, starting this again. So, obviously, same thing as before, throwing his hands to the floor, we just have to match the element. We just have a much powerful sword this time. And if I... Could I not get hit? Wow. Okay, try this again. Look at that. 1,500 damage from one hit. When before I think we were only doing 300. Okay, switch again. And he's using his wind attack. Okay. That's fine. Back to fire. And that hand's down already. Switch right back to ice. And there goes that hand. So now we're already on Ruby's phase. And obviously, I want to go back to Thunder. Can't see how much damage that's doing. Oh shit, he's doing it again. Please don't actually die when I just came to fight the Dark Genie again for shits and giggles. And there we go. Already on phase 3. So yeah, with our new weapon, Dark Genie's a joke. As you can see, we're doing 1,400, almost 15,000 even. 2 hits, 3 hits. Shit. The Gaseous are actually gonna kill me. There we go. 4 hits. And that was it. As you can see, the Chronicle 2 is busted. And I'm not going to make you guys sit through the credits again, so I'll just meet you back on the main menu. Well guys, that's everything that I wanted to cover in Dark Cloud. We've beaten the main story, we finished the Demon Shaft, and I showed you just how busted the Chronicle 2 is. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was such a good Let's Play to do. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you stick around for the next one, because it's going to be another one of my favorite games. One that I really enjoy. And I think you guys are going to think it's a lot of fun too. I will see you guys in my next Let's Play. Thank you for watching.